Hi, I'm Andy Nicol. Delighted to be here at the Arne World Golf Museum with 8-time major winner and 5-time Open champion winner, Tom Watson. Tom, it's a real pleasure to be here at this amazing museum.
It is a special place. Everybody ought to take a look at the way the game of golf began. There's so many pieces of history here that it piques your interest about the game.
Let's go back to the start. Who were your heroes? Who did you look up to when you were getting into this game of golf?
Well, when I was a 6-year-old boy, my dad taught me the game. My hero was my father. Dad taught me the proper grip. He taught me how to finish with the belly button to the hole. And he got great joy out of watching me play golf. And I got great joy out of hitting shots and having Dad say, "That's a nice shot, son." When I got on the tour, I always looked up to Arnold Palmer first. He was my hero. And Jack was the villain because Jack came along and started taking over the throne of Arnie's kingdom. And then when I got on the tour, the likes of Johnny Miller, the likes of Lee Trevino, those players right there, I studied a lot. But also over the whole period of time, my father was, his favorite golfer of all time was Sam Snead. And Sam still played the tour when I joined the tour in 1971 and played several tournaments out there. And I would always drop everything that I was doing. I was on the practice range. I saw Snead come up. I would stop and I'd go and stand behind him, enter into conversation with him, just watch him hit golf balls. Because almost every time after I watched him hit golf balls, I went back and swung the golf club better. So, Sam was a hero.
So let's break this game down, this crazy game that we loved, into the driving and iron play, chipping and putting. For the players that you played with or against, let's break down. Who was the best driver of the ball, Tom?
Well, bar none, it was Trevino. He hit the ball straighter than anybody. Maybe not as long, but he is as straight as anybody. The best long iron player was bar none Jack Nicklaus.
Okay.
When I played with him. He was the best one iron player. In fact, he really screwed up the game of golf royally because everybody wanted to be like Jack. So everybody had to have a one iron. And about 98% of the people that had a one iron couldn't hit it.
Yeah.
And but he could hit a one iron. Yeah. He could hit the ball straight up in the air with it. And he was magnificent at that.
Chipping, who was the best chipper or putt
chipper? The best chipper is probably Seve. I think, with his marvelous touch. He just had exquisite touch. And the best putter I think was, I think Crenshaw was the best putter in my era. Been great putters, but I always made the comment, you can't be a great champion unless you're a great putter.
Yeah.
You can't be a good putter and be a great champion.
Yeah. And Tom, you won 8 majors, 5 Open championships. You must have hit thousands of brilliant shots. Is there one that stands out for you?
Well, I didn't hit thousands of brilliant shots. I hit a few good shots.
Anyone stand out?
Well, a couple of shots, 2 of them, the 7-iron at the final hole at Turnberry, I hit a couple foot, 2.5 feet from the hole, and the 2-iron at Royal Birkdale in 1983, when I had to hit a shot into the wind, left to right, strong wind through that green. I hit that ball drew a little bit, left to right wind, just straightened it up, and as the ball was coming down like this, I saw it just once coming down right down the stack, but then that was it because the sea of people just went. I never saw the outcome where the ball was. So now it's like hitting a blind shot. I don't know where the ball ended up, but I remember finally getting through the crowd, and my first look was at the ball. I said, I think I can get that down in 2 to win the Open Championship.
Fantastic. And I know you've been through the Seve Through the Lens exhibition here. Just what are your memories of Seve, that magician that Seve was? Well,
Seve, he hit a 3-wood out of the bunker in the Ryder Cup on the last hole there, in a par 5 hole. The lip is like this, and he's a 3-wood out of this bunker. Now that was a extraordinarily talented shot to do that. It was incredible.
So let's move on to the technology. Here we are in the Arne World Golf Museum. Technology's changed. I mean, look at the balls behind. We've got the clubs behind you, Tom. How did the technology change your approach to the game through your career? We've got two artifacts here that are in the RNA World Golf Museum here in St Andrews that are yours. So we've got a Hogan ball, which was at the Jewel of the Sun, 1977 Turnberry, the 16th hole, I believe this is. Can you confirm this is your ball?
Absolutely, I can confirm this is my ball without a doubt. It's because there's a mark right above the H here that you pressed in there with a pencil tip. It was just a pencil. Now you use a Sharpie. Yeah. You put it right there, but it's just right above the H there. So this is definitely my ball. I can't read this. Does that say R&A? The little fine print above that?
My eyes have gone as well, Tom. So,
okay. Yeah. But that
is your ball.
That's the ball I used. That's the brand of ball I used when back then. At that time.
And that was from the 16th hole, we were told. So
16th hole at Turnberry. I can imagine it was. I have.
And did you?
It's not even yellowed yet. You know how these balls.
It's aged. Yeah, it's aged well, like you, Tom. And so next to it, there's a putter here from your win at Carnoustie in 1975. Is that like an old friend coming back into your hands?
This old A blade is. I used the Answer first, and then the A blade, and then the Ping Pao. In '77, when I played with this, I used a Wilson 8813 putter that I gave back to the person who gave it to me when I stopped using it. You know, the golf balls of today, honestly, are much more consistent than the golf balls of yesteryear. We used to have a ring like this. 1.86 inches. You put this ball right through that ring like this. And if it's stuck like this, you throw that ball out. If it dropped through the ring like that, that's the one you play with.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get a golf ball like this, you put it in the ring and you see a flat spot over here. You say you throw that thing out of there. So.
And how many holes would a ball last back then?
I changed balls every 3 holes unless I damaged it somehow.
Okay.
And now I'll play with the crumbs off for the whole round. One ball. I don't change it.
I'd love to go around in one ball, but that's a different story. Let's look at some of the golf fashion, Tom, because you were always a snazzy dresser, as we say in Scotland. What are some of your favourite outfits and how much involvement did you have in your outfits? Was that a big part of what you were about?
Well, I didn't really, didn't have, the fashion eye, but I enjoyed brighter colors.
Yeah.
I still enjoy brighter colors. And when I won the Masters in '77, I had orange slacks on and an orange striped shirt. And of course, when I won the Open Championship in '77, I had lime green shirt and the check pants on. And, I've always liked bright colors. I just think it's part of the game.
And technology. We talked about the technology with the ball and the club. Technology with clothing has changed dramatically, I guess. And you in Scotland, it rains a lot, as you well know. You won 4 of your Open Championships in Scotland. When it got wet, you had to put on so much clothing, and it was cold as well. Technology now has changed that. So
it does.
Huge difference.
Playing in the rain is no problem now. We used to have what they called the Morton Knight rain suit. It was a cotton, but it was impregnated with a so-called waterproof substance. Well, the more you wore it, the more that substance wore out, and it became a cotton blanket when it got wet. It was useless. Then there were the plastic jackets, and they were noisy and didn't fit particularly right. But then came Gore-Tex.
Yeah. Thank
God for Gore-Tex and the other waterproof materials that they use these days. And we at Ralph Lauren, we have a couple different waterproofs that really work well. And the thing I like about them is that there's enough flexibility in it that you feel comfortable in these outfits. Playing in wet weather is difficult. Your glove gets wet, and your hands get wet, and then you've got some problems. ponds. Those are, you have to keep those dry at all costs.
Tom, it's been an absolute honour to have a few words with you. Thank you so much for giving us your time and coming to St Andrews and the R&A World Golf Museum.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.